Okay, next project is a mantle clock for a Linden mantle clock. Contains a Hermle movement. The movement in this case is a 1051-020 and made for the Cuckoo Clock Manufacturing Company. And we're going to take this apart, we're going to fix it. It's got a ton of bushings that are going to have to be done. This thing is really kind of a disaster. And we'll see when we get it apart if this one was made during the time when they made the soft arbors. We may be putting some ball bearings in this one. There's that one. It's a triple chime movement. It has a pendulum as opposed to a balance wheel. And here's what the front looks like. Take those off, those off. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Got a lot of stuff. Are you hungry for a hamburger?
Sure.
Or would you rather have sloppy Joe?
It makes no difference.
Are you filming?
What?
You filming?
Yeah, it's all right. I edit it.
Okay. I'll get it ready.
Sounds good to me. That was a booger. Alright, that one comes out there. This clock had been worked on at least once in the past. The we can find some of these bushings that were put into it. But not only that, it looks like there were a whole bunch that were put in. But they were put into holes too that aren't even used. Beyond that, on the inside, whoever worked on it put a bunch of scratches in them. They scratched into the plate, inside the plate, a bunch of numbers to indicate where the gears go. And I also noted that on the gears themselves there are scratches that match the hole numbers. So it's been worked on before. I mark the holes so that they're easier to deal with when rebushing by using black marker that I can just wipe off when I'm done. There's clearly a bushing right there. That was done in the past. Several of them. But they need to be done. Okay, we have this all parts separated. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the time train back in and carefully check for wear. I've already polished the pivots on these in the lathe. We'll put this time train back in now. There's the center wheel. Put this one in. That comes off the spring. And this one goes in. I mark them all with black marker so that I can identify what sides go where when I'm replacing pivots. It just makes it a lot easier. And the escape wheel. Okay, then we'll put the top on. And we're going to check pivots on both sides. Okay, now yeah, I gotta get this out of the way. Come on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, we got them back in there now. Put another knot on here. Okay. That T1 is going to have to be done. Alright, just check all of these and see how many we got to do. Okay, here's a bushing that was put in by a past a past repair person. And you can see they must have put in a bushing that was too loose. And so they tightened it up by using that old pinprick method of pounding on the brass and beating it in there. So this may create some problems in replacing that bushing. Well, we'll see after we cut it out. Alright, we're going to push the plates in which this gear goes. This is actually the second gear on the chime side. And I've measured the pivots, and they're 1.74 and 1.76, and so we're going to use a bushing that has a bore of 1.75. And first thing I need to do is where on the plate the hole that's there for the pivot, I've got to look and see where the wear is and where there's no wear, and take a file, put it in here, and actually file away the unworn side of the hole an amount equal to the side that's worn, so that when I use the drill to cut this hole, the reamer, that the reamer will follow true center. So we're using a file. This one was pretty badly worn, by the way. I'll look and see, and when I have the other side filed an amount equal to the side that's worn, then I know that that will self-center. I'm going to look at the other plate, and I see the same. The unworn side is down here. So I take this file, and I file the unworn side of the hole out so that they are equal, and the reamer will drill a true center hole. That's good. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this, what I need is a reamer. The outside diameter of the bushing I want to put in here is 3.5 millimeters. So I need a bushing reamer that's slightly smaller than 3.5. So I will use, and that's 4. Okay, this particular reamer is 3.47 millimeters, so it will drill it out close. Let's see how that's going to go. And I think I'll pre-drill a hole with one that's a little smaller, make it somewhat easier to get in there. With the reamer. Okay. And drill the other hole out. That's that one. Okay. And now I'll use the full sized one. This is the reamer that's marked 3.47. that way, then our 3.5 inch millimeter bushing will press fit in very nicely. Okay, and that one, and then in this one. Okay, now those are ready for bushing. And we will now get the bushing out. Put it on the hole. That one went pretty flat, don't even need a punch to do that one. And then we've got one to put in here. That's good. Okay, and now we have to get a this is front, so we should that's got to be broached out, and that one has to be broached out. So now we get a broach to fit. This is the hole we have to broach, and it's got to fit this end. So we will broach out that hole. That's getting very close. Go to the other side. Broach out that side. And that's good. Okay. On this end, I need to broach for this. And that's a little tight. So we'll take this. Little broach, getting close. Broach the other side. Very close. That's got it. Okay. And now we now have to use a smooth broach. Let's see if I got one to size. Yep. Okay. I'll take a smooth broach now. And we'll put that in here, maybe. Use the other end. Okay. Smooth broach, and then smooth broach. I'll put just a tiny bit of oil. And what we will do is put the smooth broach in the hole. Rotate it. It does two things: smooths things out, gets rid of tool marks from the other one, but it also slightly work hardens the brass, makes it work a little better. Okay. Okay, so I've got that one. That one broached. Now we do this one. Okay. It's tight. Let it broach. Okay. And that's all we really need to do. Okay. And now what we will do is put the wheel in to those holes. Put the plates back together. Like so. We check for end shake. Make sure it's not bound up against things. Spin it, see that it rotates freely, which it does, no binding whatsoever. Okay. The last thing we will do. So that one's done. We will take a little chamfering tool and just take the burr off the edge of those holes, like so. Okay, so that's 2 bushings put in. We now have 3 more to do. We've already done the other bushings on the runs, or on the strike side and the run, the time center groups, and we'll be done with the bushing. Okay, here are all the wheels back in position, ready for the top plate to be put on. Okay, got it back together. Test running it now. No chimes. The chimes haven't been set yet. Got some adjustment to do, so just want to see that it runs. Let it run all night.